Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Conversations podcast. I'm Daf.
I'm Mike.
And thank you for tuning in today. You may have noticed our last two episodes in January were pre-recorded, and that is due to Mike's travels in Thailand. You were gone for about a month?
Exactly, a month. Yep.
So how has the last few days been since you got back? I know I picked you up from the airport. That was fun.
Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
I waited 3 minutes, so you were definitely there on time.
I actually was there really early because I was hoping to have enough time to go to the Erewhon grocery store before I had to pick you up. But unfortunately, due to LA traffic, which you, even if you're accounting for, can't account enough for, because I literally left my house very early, like 6 a.m., still wasn't enough time. So
Yeah, that's LA traffic. Bangkok traffic is even worse than LA traffic. Just a side note. But yeah, I'm back. Great trip. Thanks for picking me up. The biggest shock I've had since returning this trip, I'm calling it reverse price shock. Like, I totally forgot how expensive stuff is in America. My parents asked me to take them out for breakfast day before yesterday. Breakfast, mind you, right? And my parents don't eat a lot. They're elderly. $86 before tip. And I'm coming back from Thailand where cocktails are $4 at a restaurant. You can order spaghetti with meatballs and bread, cheese, $12. So I'm just like, wow, we so overpay for food in America.
and America is more expensive for sure. But you also skipped January, which is one of my least favorite months. Not for only this reason, but it is a big reason why I dislike it. You notice in January, the yearly inflation kicks in. So prices everywhere go up by, maybe it's just a few cents, maybe it's a few dollars. I remember I first paid attention to that. It was like my second job ever at a juice bar. I remember it was like January 2nd. And my manager came in and had price stickers, and we had to go around and change the prices on everything. That was many years ago. And ever since then, I've noticed in January, all the prices go up.
And the bump is pretty significant.
Again, sometimes a few cents, sometimes a few dollars. It depends on the year and exactly what it is. If you are a regular at a coffee shop and you're used to every single day getting your medium white chocolate mocha and it's $5.50, and then you go in January and it's, $6 or $6.50, maybe you won't notice, especially if you're like paying with card. But if you're one of those people who pay with cash and really budget everything, it's just a little surprise every January that I'm not looking forward to.
I hadn't noticed that, actually. That's new to me. But I'm definitely noticing the price bump coming back. I wanted to start off the trip really nice, so I booked for my first night a 5-star hotel in downtown Bangkok. It was a 5-star hotel. Next morning for breakfast, I opted to pay for the buffet breakfast. It was amazing. $20, all you could eat. But, I mean, you're talking like better than Vegas hotel buffets, everything. $21. And then, I come back here, have breakfast with my parents. It's $86 plus tax. Blowing me away.
Jeez.
I miss the food in Bangkok.
So it was better and better priced.
Yeah, quality. Yeah, I didn't even, glad you mentioned that. Just good food. Well, you saw the photo of the eggs that I had. Mm-hmm. I mean, just rich yellow-orange yolks, and the fruit is fresh. I took a bus and I stayed a few nights in Bangkok, but most of my trip was down in a beach resort town called Pattaya. The restaurants are really different than the States. There's no walls. The weather's perfect there. And I ordered a mango smoothie with my chicken pad thai. I look over where they're making the juice. This old lady, she looks like she's 80 years old, hunchback. She's pulling a wheelbarrow full of freshly picked mangoes that just like came from the edge of town. And she walks around with this wheelbarrow and goes restaurant to restaurant, sells freshly picked mangoes out of her wheelbarrow on the spot. I see the guy buy a few, he puts them in a pile, he grabs one and literally made my smoothie out of mangoes that came off the tree probably the night before.
Nice.
You don't get any fresher than that.
So tell us a little bit more about your travels, specifically the plane rides over. Was that smooth? Did something go wrong?
Well, I ended up getting a ticket on United Airline, which I don't ever remember flying before. I tend to prefer the Asian airlines, Korean Air in particular. I get miles with them and and I'm like racking those up. So this time I used American Airline, and right away I just noticed the quality of the flight, the people, the plane. It just, yeah, real disappointing. Mostly the attitude from the flight attendants was just kind of, I thought, snooty and entitled compared to what I'm used to with the Asian airlines. For example, there was no blanket in my seat when I sat down. So I hit the light, flight attendant comes up, and she, like, with attitude that I wasn't prepared for, like said, well, there was supposed to be one on your seat before you sat down. Where's that? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but that's why I'm asking you, if you don't mind fetching me a blanket. I'm cold. I don't want to be cold for the next 14 hours. And she's like, what happened to it? It was in your seat when you boarded the plane. Anyway, she got me one, but it was just a bad experience.
So it wasn't in your seat like it was supposed to be when you boarded the plane.
Right. But the biggest turnoff was how I had to explain myself just to get a blanket.
I do have to ask, do you keep these blankets when the flight's over? You get to take...
No, you're supposed to leave them on your seat.
That's kind of gross.
Well, it was better than enduring cold torture for 14 hours.
In January, I unexpectedly had to do some traveling when I took a flight. I brought my blanket with me because I knew it was... Almost every plane I've been on, it's always cold. And this was a morning flight, so I knew it was going to be cold. Comically, it was extremely hot on that plane, and I did not need it. And all the extra layers that I was dressed with were unnecessary. So yeah, the blanket, the 2 sweatshirts, the extra pair of pants over my leggings, not necessary. It was not a cold flight.
Well, that was just the beginning. A warning, I guess. They lost my bag too. So I landed in, I had a transfer of 3-hour layover in Hong Kong, which is communist China. And I don't like communism, and even more so now. They can't seem to take a suitcase off the plane. I reboarded the same plane that I landed in, just waited 3 hours. But in 3 hours, they couldn't put my bag back on the right plane. So when I landed in Bangkok, I went to the lost baggage complaint department, and they basically said, we think it's still back in China. Come back tomorrow. Maybe it'll make it on the next flight. So fortunately, I booked one night in Bangkok at a really nice hotel just because I wanted to start off my trip fun and with luxury, with comforts in Bangkok. But it turned out to be lucky because I was forced to wait a day, come back to the airport, and they found my bag. Finally got it.
That's good. I've never had my bag lost, but I would be really upset.
And then my friend who I was traveling with on the return trip home, he checked his, and they lost it again, twice in a row. Same airline. What are the odds?
At that point, it's not a coincidence. It's a quality issue. Someone's dropping, I would say, the ball, but apparently it's the bag. Okay, well, damn. That's quite a way to start the journey.
That was the worst of it. It all was paradise from there on.
Great. So in Thailand, I don't know what is wrong with my memory, but all throughout your trip, I kept saying, I was like, where is Mike? Where is Mike? I was like, is it Philippines? Is it Thailand? Sorry, I get them confused. That's me being ignorant and not traveled. So Thailand, what were some interesting takeaways, stories, experiences?
Well, because I was forced to stay at the hotel without any bags or luggage, I was forced to go shop, go buy a change of clothes, socks, whatever. I picked up another pair of Ray-Bans. Yeah.
Another fake pair? Because the last pair that you got last year wasn't enough for you?
Another fake pair, yes.
We're going to test the UV on those lenses because I can guarantee your retinas are getting fried.
I'd like to check that. That would be a good verification.
It's on the to-do.
I just noticed the prices on their clothes, hats, everything, just amazingly cheap.
What else did you buy?
My eyes started irritating me because the dirty air in Bangkok. Bangkok has really dirty air.
Your eyes were irritating you because of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were stinging. And I also started getting reaction to my rosacea, my face, like a rash. So I went to a pharmacist and got eye drops and asked if he knew what rosacea was and if there'd be a cream available that would fix that. He claimed he knew what rosacea was and he had a fix for me or a formula that would be very effective. I later looked it up and read that it was FDA approved, which kind of like surprised me. I had no idea that the FDA had so much power or authority over foreign countries way outside America. But everything is like cleared through the FDA that's sold in Thailand. Anyway, he recommended this cream. I looked it up though, and it specifically said, do not use for acne or rosacea. It may make your condition worse, which it did. So I spent a week trying to clear up my face because the bum pharmacist gave me this bum cream.
Which is not what you were used to living in Japan, because the pharmacists were known for being almost doctor equivalent.
Correct. And healthcare is very different in Asia, as you mentioned, Japan, and Bangkok's the same. Most people can't afford to go to a doctor for little things like a skin rash. So instead, and it's very common there, they'll see a pharmacist. The pharmacists are very knowledgeable and experienced, and they act kind of like a doctor in the sense that they'll diagnose what your problem is, and they'll sell you something on the spot without a prescription, hoping it'll fix your condition.
Yeah.
And in Japan, it worked great.
When I was in Mexico, I popped into one of the pharmacies there, and it did surprise me that a lot of the packaging had FDA on it as well. Wikipedia says the jurisdiction of the FDA is the continental US, but clearly that's not true. They got quite a grasp on a real big percentage of the world.
Thailand's 14 hours away by plane, yet FDA all over their packaging.
Strange. The artist named Chappell Roan, who I don't like at all. Doesn't matter, whatever. The Grammys were Sunday, and what she wore to the Grammys was just like so disgusting and desperate for attention and pick me. So disgustingly gross. Like, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for this.
Yeah, well, now I want to see it. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that just like so
it's not
next
even
level?
It's like,
it's
gross.
So desperate. And this is an artist who hasn't been famous or relevant for very long.
I was curious.
I think she just became famous a couple years ago.
For what?
For music. She does music. Not good music. Not good. Popular because really? It's like people use her songs on TikTok and stuff. But when people are actually like jamming to her music, I'm confused because it's not good music. I don't know anything about her because I don't care. Right. There's nothing interesting about her to me.
I don't blame you.
If I'm playing Spotify and it's on mix and her songs happen to come up, I'm 100% skipping. Like, she's just not a good artist musically to me. Personal wise, this had to have been like last year or the year before. I remember seeing a video and fans were apparently coming up to her on the street. Regular celebrity interaction. If you are a public figure, you know that people are going to recognize you in public.
Right.
You have to know that it's going to happen. You know, watch out for your own protection and safety. Do whatever. This artist didn't like being identified by her fans on the street and was like screaming at them, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you a photo. Leave me alone. Embarrassing herself.
Then why does she pick a dress like you just
That's
showed
what
me?
I'm saying.
Like, I don't want to be noticed.
It's so
really?
oxymoronic. I knew I didn't like her. This has absolutely confirmed it for me. I do not like this artist. So ridiculous. So desperate for attention.
Well, yeah.
So obnoxious. And just not artistically anything that I care about.
Well, if her choice of artistic dress has any reflection on her art, it looks BDSM to me.
It looks like she's wearing multiple earrings, a lot of diamonds. I'll give her that. The jewelry is cute. The underwear, you know that you're wearing an entirely sheer dress.
Yep.
If you're showing off everything on top, I'm not saying show off everything on bottom, but that's not the pair of underwear that I would have worn to go with that
symmetry.
Dress. Like, I would have done a little bit more lace.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wanted to suggest that a lace thong would look better than whatever underwear option this is.
Or something lighter color.
The weird line here, it was obviously a hem. Like, that was intentional. It looks strange.
I thought that was a wrinkle.
No, it's not a wrinkle. It looks like it's sewed in hem. Probably just to add a little bit more shape.
Or to highlight her thighs.
Doesn't add anything to the design of the dress. There's a whole lot of dress on the floor. So maybe that was the image, is like, it's trying to like, oh, the dress is falling off. I guess that's cute, but it's like you don't have to show absolutely everything. It could have been a falling off moment without being X-rated.
I feel like it's tugging and torturing her.
You better hope nobody steps on that train.
Talk about what wardrobe
Last
malfunction.
thing I'll say, the shoes are freaking ugly.
Well, they match the panties.
The shoes are hideous.
Despite what she yelled at to her fans, that's screaming like desperation, and I'm fading.
That is right. She only had 2 or 3 popular songs. I don't know if she released it as an entire album or if she just released the singles. But yeah, we haven't heard anything new from her in a while, or at least I haven't had anything new from her crammed down my throat. Yeah. That's how I know when Taylor Swift has something new. It's because it's being crammed down my throat, not because I'm following her and getting notified.
Exactly. That's being crammed down people's throats.
It's ridiculous. And additionally, the last thing I'll say about it is like the Grammys is a very publicized event.
Tradition too. A lot of tradition too.
Sure. For all ages is what I'm getting at. So you know you're being wildly inappropriate for all eyes. Check yourself. Cover yourself up. That's so ridiculous, so unnecessary. There's no reason for all of that. I'm not even like anti-nudity, but it was not done well.
It's just
in that, like it was not done well.
It was not attractive. Usually nudity is attractive.
I'll show you when Rihanna wore a kind of see-through dress, like you could see some nipple.
Yeah.
It was done so well. It was a while ago. It was
Tasteful.
a long time ago. It just needs to be done tastefully. And oh my God, Chappell Roan, wrap it up. We don't want to see that.
That was atrocious. That one picture has pretty much ruined my afternoon now.
Atrocious. Yes.
There's nothing that made me want to look at it twice.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Our last topic of the day. Tell me about last little notable story in Thailand.
Yes. Little mixed feelings about it. So I've never been treated rudely or insulted in any of my Asian travels. But I was insulted by, well, I'll just back up. I'm walking down the street in this kind of nightclub area where there are a lot of bars.
Is this in Pattaya?
Pattaya, yes. Okay. I found like the Beverly Hills of Pattaya. The clubs and the bars, lots of ladies looking to meet travelers and tourists or just Thai men. I see this very good-looking woman sitting in a chair looking right at me, and I noticed her beauty, and I was out to have a drink anyway. The person who was traveling with me decided to go to Vietnam, so I was alone. So I approached her and offered to buy her a drink, and she stands up and says, yeah, you can buy me a drink. When she stands up, she's like a foot taller than me. And I immediately realized, oh my gosh, this is a ladyboy, which are famous in Thailand. But I was duped from the sidewalk, from the entrance. I thought it was a beautiful woman. And I didn't want to be rude and just turn tail and walk away without a proper no thanks, not interested, or some excuse. So I just said, oh, wow, you're really tall. And he answered back and said, yes, and you're really small.
Ooh, burn.
And I was like, I'm trying to be polite here. And I've never been insulted before. Like, I didn't know how to, like, I didn't know what to do, how to respond to that. And so I just said, are you a lady? And he said, I am not a lady, but you may still buy me a drink. And I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. I just said, no, thanks. And I walked away.
Oh my gosh.
But it like put me off the whole rest of the night because I've never been offended like that before.
Some of the lady boys make real women question how they present themselves, because if you can make, if a literal male can make themselves look more womanly than a natural born woman, what are we doing wrong? You know what I mean? What tips and tricks did you get? Like, put us on.
Thailand is famous for their ladyboys.
I'm aware. That's why I'm saying. Like,
they do it good. They do it good.
It makes you feel a type of way sometimes.
And I thought I was immune to their tricks, their deception.
Oh, so you thought.
So I thought.
You really stroked this particular ladyboy's ego.
Well, I don't know. I think she insulted me because she felt I was rejecting her as soon as I pointed out, wow, you're really tall.
Good point. After the fact, yes. But I mean, initially, I don't want to say you fell for it, but he had a fish on the line.
Yeah, for a moment.
Or she had a fish on the line. Sorry. I know people get really particular about he.
As soon as she answered me, that's when the doubt kicked in. Plus the foot taller than me.
There's tall women.
Yeah, but not ones that talk like this.
Oh, okay.
foot taller than me.
Height and deep voice.
Deep
Got
voice,
it.
yeah.
You're picking up the context clues. So.
But as I walked up to her, man, what a beauty. I actually feel gay saying that right now after the fact, knowing it wasn't a woman. But she got my attention.
So you would disagree when people say everybody's a little bit gay? You denying?
I can't relate to that comment.
Neither can I. It's just a regular phrase. You've never heard that before?
I think that's maybe a certain demographic trying to push their beliefs. I have never had doubts about my orientation.
Period.
Yes. Good way to, good note to end on.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all for this week. I have to take care of my cats. They had their dental cleanings yesterday, and they're still kind of lethargic. They're on some pain med, and they're only eating wet food for the next 2 weeks, which is a little bit of the pain in the butt because I do feed my cats typically their kibble like 9 to 12 times per day. So having to feed wet food that often is getting a little out of hand, but I'm managing. And I do have to check on my chickens. It's a really beautiful day, so I might do some yard work. Do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
No. Actually, I still have unpacking to do.
Oh my gosh. I can't stand that. As soon as I get home, if I don't unpack within like day 1 or day 2 at the latest, I feel like a lazy bum.
I've been jet lagged until yesterday. Oh. I'm good now, but yesterday was the first day I felt normal.
When I picked you up from the airport, you weren't like in a bad mood. You were in good spirits. Or was it when I dropped you off at home, the bad spirits kicked in?
So that flight, I actually slept pretty well. I ate well. I felt rested. When you picked me up, I remember being in a good mood. And the fact that you were there to bring me back home, it was just, I was in a good mood. But when I got home, yeah, crashed out early.
Understandable. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll see you soon.
Happy New Year.
Bye, everyone.